Hello, friend. Looks like Bonnie's joining us for our weekend wake up today. This class is, in my opinion, and probably also Bonnie's opinion, one of the best ways to wake up. We ease the body and the mind into movement, into life with some just gentle shapes to start with, and then we get into a really nice flow that will hopefully leave you feeling nice and open and ready for wherever you are headed on your weekend. Or even if it's not the weekend, maybe it's nighttime, maybe it's a Tuesday, whenever you are practicing this class, hopefully it just leaves you feeling open and ready for whatever is coming your way next. So Bonnie's getting her water. You might need your water too. Take some time to get yourself set up. No props are essential, but grab whatever you normally want to practice with. And then when you're ready, we will get started. All right, so now that Bonnie is nice and hydrated, she's cozy back in her bed, we are going to begin on our backs. So lay on down, and then just take a few moments to get settled in. You could have your legs long or your legs in any other shape, using a prop or two, maybe to get yourself really comfortable for these first few moments in stillness. It can feel nice to tuck the shoulder blades under a little bit, to let the palms face up or to rest them somewhere on your body. And then when you're ready, you found a comfortable position for you, go ahead and close your eyes. And let's take a nice deep breath in together. And a deep breath out. We'll take two more, breathing in. And breathe out. Last one. And then if you can, seal your lips. And just find a nice rhythm of breath in and out through your nose. Noticing how those deep breaths land you here, onto your mat, into your body. And over the next couple of breaths, begin to wake up the body with a little bit of movement. Making it completely your own, any movement that feels good right here. And start really small, especially if it's first thing in the morning. The body might not be used to movement just yet, but that is why we're here. And let's start to take a big stretch overhead, reaching arms and legs as long as they can be. And stay really active as you take deep breaths, reaching through the toes, through the fingertips, feeling the spine lift off the mat, puffing up through the rib cage, the chest, the stomach. And then gently start to hug your knees in and take your hands onto your knees. And as you wiggle the hips a bit from side to side, you can feel your spine lengthen. And you might start to circle the knees around, circle the ankles, wiggle the toes. The knees might circle in the same direction or opposite directions, or any way that doesn't have any rhyme or reason. And come to stillness. Plant your left foot onto the mat. The knee stays bent as you interlace your fingers onto your right shin just below your knee and gently squeeze it in towards your right shoulder. Drop the shoulders down and take a few big breaths as you feel the pressure in your right hip. And you might stay here, or you might slide your right hand down your leg, coming into a half happy baby, reaching for ankle or foot, outer or inner side of foot, or maybe the big toe. Keeping the right knee out wide if you're in your half happy baby, the shin is vertical. Imagine your foot is standing on the ceiling or the sky above you. Left hand could slide onto the hip just to remind it, a gentle reminder to keep it grounded. Relax the shoulders down. Maybe extend the left leg long if that doesn't feel too much for you right now. And just remind yourself to be gentle as we ease movement into the body. Noticing the sensation in the right hip. Can you send a bigger breath down there? Use your next inhale to slowly release the right foot. Take a big stretch, both legs long, both arms long. And as you breathe out, start to pull your knees back in towards your chest. Give yourself another little bit of movement here. Noticing just how that one shape could change a lot. How the right side feels, how the left side feels. And come to stillness. We'll switch sides so the right foot lowers. We'll interlace the fingers onto the left shin as you squeeze it gently towards your left shoulder. Feel that pressure in the hip. And keep the shoulders dropping down if you want to stay here, or if you'd like, you can slide your left hand down your shin, grab what you can as you keep pulling the knee out wide towards the shoulder. Is that right hip really lifting? If so, that's all right. Just bring your right hand onto it and just remind it to soften down. Dropping both shoulders down, maybe extending the right leg long if that feels good for your body. You're taking a few breaths here. And use your next inhale to lengthen, releasing left foot down, stretch so long again, maybe the longest that you've had all day, all week, all year. And hug knees back in towards the chest, this time squeezing them a little bit tighter together. And start to notice a natural curve to your spine. So you can feel your upper and your mid back maybe resting on the mat, but there's a little bit of space between your low back and the mat. Your shins start to hover above the floor. They hover parallel to the floor, so your knees are above your hips. You're feeling some strength in the lower abdominals as you stretch your arms wide. Keep your palms up, your legs squeezing together. Let's flex the feet. And slowly begin to lower your legs over towards the right side, keeping them bent 90 degrees, but just lower them to a hover. Left hip will lift. Try to keep left shoulder down as best you can. Bring them on up using the strength of the lower abdominals, and then we'll switch. Lower left side, just to a hover. Again, you're feeling a little twist. Try to keep right shoulder dropping down. Bring it on up to center. Let's take it over to the right again. Can you keep the legs squeezing together? Belly button just gently hugging towards the spine. Bring it on up. And then we'll take it to the left. Pause in your hover. Keep breathing. And softly lower the legs down so that you're in a twist. Maybe you keep your arms out wide. Maybe you adjust them a little. Maybe you let your head flop over towards the right side. Take full breaths up and down. Side to side, front to back, all the way around the spine. Feeling your torso fill up like a balloon, and then slowly deflate. Take one more big breath in, and let it out. And you'll start to find some strength in the legs, in the lower abdominals, and then use that strength to bring your legs up through center and over towards the right side. So the legs pause and hover for a moment, and then they softly lower to the floor. As you keep both shoulders dropping down, take your head however it would like to be. Notice if you're still kind of holding some effort and some tension in the legs and the hips. Can you let that go a little bit? Let yourself soften and open up. Finishing off your last round of breath right here. And then from here, we'll slowly rock over completely towards the right-hand side. So you're in a fetal position. And let your head rest on your bottom arm. Top hand connected to the floor beneath you. Eyes can be closed. Just a nice little place to let the spine realign. When you feel ready, start to push the ground away with the left hand. Rise up. We'll make our way into a child's pose. So swing the legs around. Take the knees as wide as you'd like. Bring the big toes to touch. And let your upper body melt down between the thighs. Stretch the arms out a little longer. Maybe feel the elbows lift, the fingers spread wide. Think about pressing the ground away with the fingertips. As you send your hips towards your heels, even though they might not touch, hopefully feeling some length through the back body. And keeping all that length, begin to walk your hands over towards the right side. So you're enjoying a bit more space down the left. Can you reach your left hip a little bit further away from your left shoulder? Can you keep pressing the ground away? Take one more breath in and out. And slowly begin to crawl your hands back through center. We'll take it all the way over to the left side, to the edge of your mat, maybe off of it. Doesn't have to be very far to feel the space down the right side. Hips reaching back and down. Right hip, stretch it further away from the right shoulder. As you keep pressing the ground away and breathing those deep breaths. One more big breath in and out. Next inhale, walk your hands through center, both sides of the waist, so nice and long. Spread the fingers, push down into the finger pads, and as you breathe in, come up into a plank on your knees. Your shoulders stack above your wrists. Let your hips just press forward a little bit here. Oh, it feels so good for the hips after that child's. And then gently bring your hips back towards your heels. We'll take a couple more. Inhale brings you forward. You can let the hips melt down just a little bit and then send it back. Take two more. As we start to get into this, maybe you want to tuck the toes, lift the knees, find a little more strength in the legs. Knees can come back down in your child's. And finish off your last one. And then we'll make our way into plank just on the knees. But keep the legs strong, the ribs hugging in as you bend the elbows, lower down all the way. Untuck the toes, hands come out nice and wide, probably off of your mat onto the fingertips. Push down into your feet, and as you breathe in, peel the upper body up. And as you breathe out, let it melt down. Think like you're moving like a wave. Smooth and steady. Just like that wave that laps up onto the sand. It's not crashing, it is smooth, it's rhythmic. It's so nice to watch, so nice to feel. And finish off your last round here. Melting all the way down. And slide hands under shoulders, press yourself back. Child's pose, just for a moment. And we'll rise up into tabletop. All fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, fingers wide. Take a big breath in, lift your heart, lift your tail, cow. Big breath out, rounding cat. And breathing in, feel the shoulder blades slide down and away from the ears. Breathing out, feel your shoulder blades spread wide. As you arch the spine and back bend, can you imagine your hands dragging back just a little bit, heart pulling forward? And as you round, can you really push the ground away with the fingers, with the shins, with the feet? Take one more. And come back to center. Long, flat back. Let's take the right arm forward and the left leg back. So take your time as you lift the limbs, as you press into the left fingertips. You're hugging the ribs in, pushing the ground away with the left fingers. And as you inhale, can you get a little longer? Exhale, hug it in, elbow to knee. We'll take 3 more. Inhale to extend. Take your time. Feel your breath. There's no rush. Finishing off your last 2. Next time you extend arm and leg, keep your leg extended. Just lower the toes to the mat. And as you bring your right hand down, spin your hand towards you so the fingers point to the knees. If they don't go all the way there, that's okay. They can point to the long edge of your mat. And we'll start to take a few little pulses here, or maybe some circles. And the goal to be stretching the right wrist and forearm, as well as the left toes and the foot. Maybe the ankle and the calf get a little bit of stretch as well as you press the heel away. Maybe you roll over the toes a little bit. Make your movement as big as you'd like, as small as you'd like. And come to stillness. Let's lower the left knee down, kick the right leg long, and reach your right arm up and over, or up, into a side plank on the left. Then make a fist with the right hand and just draw some circles with the fist. And just move that around a little bit. And then let's lower the right hand down. Step back to a plank from your knees or from your toes, your choice. Bend the elbows, lower gently. Take an inhale, it's just a nice little cobra. Shoulders back and down. And as you breathe out, press yourself back through child's. And then we'll lift up to all fours for the second side. So stacking the joints, let's take a little bit more cat-cow here. Move that around. And if you're feeling like cat-cow is good for you, you can stay. Or maybe you'd like to sway a little, hips from side to side. Maybe you let the elbows bend, you just kind of move the body around. Any way to wake up. Any way that gets you a little bit closer to you, to what you need. And come to stillness in the center. We will take the left arm this time long, right leg long. Take a moment to find your balance, to lift the front body up towards the back body. I like to kick through the heel when the leg is extended. As you take one more inhale, get longer. And as you exhale, maybe you point the toes, draw it in, elbow to knee. We'll do it again. Inhale to lengthen and kick. Exhale, squeeze it in, think cat round. Your last 2 for a total of 4. Keep gripping into right fingertips. Feeling the body warm up with breath, with movement. Next time everything is extended, you'll lower the right toes down, keep the leg long. Left hand spins around so fingers point towards you or towards you-ish. And then we'll move around. Getting into wrists, toes, foot. Keep pressing into fingertips. That grip is so important. That's why I talk about it all the time. Gripping into fingertips, trying to work on keeping weight out of the wrists, which is a very difficult thing to do. But it's a practice, so it's all good. Come to stillness. Lower the right knee down. As you tuck right toes behind you, left leg stretches long. Left arm reaches up into side plank on the right. Make a fist with the top left hand and just make a couple circles with the left wrist. Roll that around. Now let's lower left hand down. Find your plank again, knees or toes. Bend the elbows, lower down. Take a big breath in, cobra. And as you breathe out, press through table. Let's tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Our first downward facing dog. And move it around. Pressing one heel down, then the other. Sway your hips, your head. Maybe give it a big shake up and down, side to side. How are things feeling? This movement is to help check in, not just to Not just to do it, but to feel it. To feel it, to feel your body and what you need. And come to stillness. Pause here for a few breaths. You can have a soft bend in the knees, especially if it's early. The heels might not touch the mat. Mine don't. Push the ground away, lengthen the spine, and prioritize that length in the spine in all of the downward dogs, hips reaching up and back. Take a big breath in, lift your heels, look forward. As you breathe out, bend your knees, take as many steps as you'd like to the top of your mat to fold. Feet at least hip width apart. Grab opposite elbows as you sway from side to side. And feeling all that space in the back body. And the legs, the spine, the neck. Come to stillness in the center. And slide your hands up your shins. Take a halfway lift. Feel the legs strong, the front body engaged. And as you exhale, fold. Inhale brings you all the way up to standing. Palms touch. Exhale, hands meet at the heart. We'll take a couple of half sun salutations. Get used to moving with the breath. Inhale, reach arms all the way overhead. And as you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your long flat back, strong legs, active core. And as you exhale, fold and soften. Inhale brings you all the way up to standing, palms together. Exhale, hands meet at the heart. And again, reach up. How does your breath feel? Exhale to fold. How does your body feel as you move with the breath? Inhale to your flat back, gazing down, neck is long. Exhale, let it go. What pace feels good for you? Inhale, rise up. Might be different than mine. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time through with your breath. We meet standing. And we take it into a full salutation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, melt down. Long flat back with your inhale. Plant your hands, step back as you exhale. You can lower the knees down if you'd like, bend the elbows lower down. Hands are by the ribs, root into your feet. Inhale, cobra, or if you feel ready, you can straighten the arms, lift the thighs, up dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back, down dog. You can pause in child's, you can move through a tabletop along the way, whatever you need to do. Take a big breath in your dog. Let it out. Inhale, lifts the heels, look forward. As you exhale, bend your knees, take your steps to the top to fold. Inhale, flat back, lengthen. Exhale, let it go, soften. Inhale brings you all the way up. And as you exhale, we melt back down all the way. Second round. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, soften. Plant your hands, step it back, plank, knees or toes up to you. Bend the elbows lower down. Inhale, your choice of back bend, what feels good. Exhale, hips up and back dog. Once you're in dog, take a big breath in. And out. Inhale, lifts the heels. As you exhale, bend your knees, stepping, hopping, however you'd like to the top to fold. Flat back as you breathe in, lengthen. Let it go as you breathe out. Rise on up. Exhale, dive down, last round. Your breath, your body, moving you around. It's okay if we're not doing the same thing. Take your time. Meeting in down dog. Once you're there, take your full inhale. And exhale. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, come on up to the top. And fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Let it go. Rise on up. Hands to heart. Stay here as you breathe in and out.